Hi, I'm Tasneem Khan and I'm an Early Childhood Development Practitioner, and welcome to the iteach Early Childhood Development Program. Well guys, we learned the 3-period lesson and we're having lots of fun learning our colors using the 3-period lesson. But let's see now, can we use the 3-period lesson to learn other things? Let's try it on shapes. Well, today we're going to make an activity to do our shapes. So if you don't have shape cards, you can use an activity or you can get cards. I do have one here for shapes. Let's see, so a lot. Okay, let's just make an activity for shapes though. Just make it easier. We're going to need paper and maybe a pencil. Okay, I think I'll use a crayon. Okay, so we are making the activity. So we have a piece of paper, fold that in half. Tear it down the middle. Tearing is not always that pretty. So let's tear this down the middle here. Oh. Okay, then we're going to fold this paper again in half here and tear it down. Okay, let's get this piece. Oh, there goes my ruler. It's fine, I'm sure I'll be able to tear it without it. Okay, so again in half. Oh, definitely better without the ruler. So we've got 1, 2, we've got 3, we've got 4. But for this activity, we're not going to use the paper longwards. I mean, upwards, like yeah, it's in a rectangular form. And we're going to draw a shape on this. So let's draw the first shape, okay? Left hand to support, right hand, and we're going to draw the circle. But I'm going to put the circle more towards the right, so I have a place to support on my paper. So let's draw a circle. Wow, there's my circle. You can see I left some space on the left hand side to support my page. So I've done a circle. I'm doing this freehand, guys, so just don't judge my drawing. And I'm going to do a square. You will do this accurately because you want your kids to see that it looks like the shape. So you can use a mug to trace a circle and use your ruler for drawing a square and stuff. So we're going to do a triangle here, triangle, and then we're going to do the rectangle here. Okay, rectangle. Okay. So we've got our shapes. You know we can only do 3 shapes in a 3-period lesson, so let's just take the rectangle out. So we're going to keep the circle, the square, and the triangle. So we made our shapes. Shapes work a bit differently. So let's do this 3-period lesson for shapes. First thing we're going to do again is we're going to introduce it one at a time. Circle. Can you trace and say circle, Sarah? So you will trace the shape and you will say circle. You will hand it over to the child and say, can you trace and say circle? And they will trace and give it back to you. You will take the shape, put it underneath. You'll do the next one. You'll trace it. Square. Can you trace and say square, Sarah? Sarah will trace it and she'll say square. And you bring it back. Triangle. Can you trace and say triangle, Sarah? Sarah's going to trace it and bring it back. Okay? Then again, trace. Circle. Can you trace and say circle? Then you place a circle in front of you. Then again you go. Square. Can you trace and say square? Put the square here. Can you trace and say triangle? So you do it first, then you bring it here. So it's again in order. What we're going to do next, in this gaming stage, we're going to say, can you find the square and trace it and put it over here? So in this activity, the child has to trace it, trace and say square, and move it around. So each shape here will get traced when you're playing the gaming stage. Can you find the triangle? Can you trace and say triangle and move it here? Triangle, move it here, and Sarah will do that. Can you find the circle? Can you trace the circle and say circle and move it here? So we're getting them to emphasize the tracing because the mind The hand is an extension of the mind. If you ever played that game where you wrote the alphabets on your friend's back and you knew what the alphabets were, because your hand already stored the memory of what the shape was. And that's why we say that the hand's an extension of the mind. So guys, go ahead and use your 3-period lesson and do the gaming stage. And don't forget the testing stage. All the alphabets will come back in order, and then you will test and say, can you tell me what's the shape? Can you tell me what's the shape? Can you tell me what's the shape? And if the child guesses correctly, then what you will do next is you take out one shape, one known shape. I prefer taking out the circle because everyone knows the circle, and introducing the rectangle. So that's the way shapes work. Okay? So every time you're going to trace, say the name of the shape, move it around, test. If in the testing stage the child knows it, then you'd introduce a new shape. Well, go ahead guys and have fun with shapes.